This is the Motovox mini bike. Usually these mini bikes top out at 25 miles per hour. I want to make it go a little bit faster. Welcome back to Project Rubber Band. So there's a couple things with this mini bike that we can change and it'll go much faster. First thing is the governor. The second thing is a restrictive exhaust, and the third thing is a restrictive intake. So here's the whole governor and throttle setup. The first thing you want to do is unscrew. There's a little threaded hole there. When it comes stock, there'll be a screw that will keep this throttle from going too far. So what you want to do is first unscrew that screw. That's pretty self-explanatory. When I was looking up videos on how to remove the governor, you can just crack the case and pull the whole governor system out, but you don't even have to do any of that. All you have to do is put this little wire here. So this is the governor. That's literally what limits the revs. It's really, really simple. All it really does is pulls the throttle back in there. That's really mainly what this thing does. So what you want to do is put a wire from here to here. What it does is it keeps it to max revs, so then when you pull this throttle, you're not getting this pullback from this governor. You're going max throttle. Now these Motovox mini bikes do not have a lot of power at the low end. They have a lot of power at the top end. They rev really, really high if you can get them to go that fast. So we can get it going really fast, but we can't do any burnouts because of how weak the engine is. All right, so the next thing I did was put a straight pipe exhaust. This engine is really, really small, so it's only gonna increase the decibels by a little bit. It's not gonna be super, super loud. It will be louder, but it won't be as loud as like a straight pipe like Predator or something like that. So what the exhaust does is it frees up the flow through the engine. So when the engine's trying to push out the exhaust, all it has to do is shoot through a pipe. So the last thing we're gonna do is deal with the restrictive filter. All right, so I took the panel off. It's super flat, which means if you take this off, there's literally a line right here. So the air literally has to go around that little flap and then come from these under fins right here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna like maybe drill a hole or cut a square right here. If we do that, it should have a lot of flow, whereas having this on, no hole, and the foam piece all there, it should be more flow if we do that. So let's get to work. So usually with your classic engine, you have three things that are inhibiting it from revving to its highest potential. First thing is intake, second thing is governor, and the third thing is your exhaust. Now I've checked all three boxes. There are some things you can do with the carburetor and jetting or better fuel like 93 octane, which I have some, so I could put that in there. So now that I have all those things done, we're gonna do a speed test and see how fast this thing actually can go. Alright, so as you can see on that last run, I got a 32.6. So with all those mods, we got up from 25 to 32.6. That's about 7 miles per hour added. So then in total, we added on 7 miles per hour with all the mods we did. Alright, you can turn. Alright guys, so as you saw in that speed test, it went from 25 miles per hour stock to 32.6 with all the mods that we did in this video. Hope you guys learned something. Hope you guys can mod up your Motovoxes. The last thing I have to say is if you want to make this thing go faster, don't try to mod the Motovox. I've seen cars and cameras try to like scrape down the block and like do all this fancy stuff. Just get a Predator and your life will be easier and it'll wheelie like crazy. Oh, also, I got some new merch. So if you want to support the channel, link in the description. Buy a shirt and I'll see y'all next time.